Vasishta continued, O Ram, regard all actions everywhere as pure consciousness, and live with your vision introverted. So in other words, practice self-enquiry. It's not something you do for a short period each day. It's not something you do only when you feel like doing it. Regard all actions everywhere as pure consciousness. In other words, don't get caught up in yourself being a doer of actions. Live with your vision introverted. In other words, we're not looking outwards for satisfaction. Live with the vision turned on itself, on the consciousness behind it. So this is the trouble. Perhaps there are times you feel in the mood for these teachings, and there'll be times, sorry, I've got other things on my mind. I'm just not in the mood. I'm either having too good a time, life is fine, I'm not bothered about dispassion, thank you very much. Or I'm just in too much pain right now to be thinking about these rarefied teachings. And then maybe you think, I'll just have a little dip into the Yoga Vasishta, and you think, yes, I agree with this is good. It's quite uplifting. I should do more of this. And then on you go to your daily routine, your pattern of moods. This is what we need to break through. If we don't feel like giving attention to the teaching or practicing self-enquiry, well, here, that's an opportunity to practice self-enquiry. Look at your mood. What's going on? What are we indulging? Sometimes you don't know what to do in these moods. This is what a mood is. A mood is a trap. You're flailing about in the net. You're caught. Maybe later on the net will fall away and you can come back and do a bit of self-enquiry, read a bit of the teachings, read a bit of scripture, and everything feels okay again. This is a challenge, this is the working ground. If we're not enthused by the teachings, then we're probably missing the point somewhere. There's maybe a bit of resentment creeping in or something like that. The problem then is, well, what do you do when you are caught up in a mood and you know you're caught up in a mood? It can be very difficult. It can be very difficult to bring the awareness back to itself. You can forget what it's all about. In fact, that's what's happened. You're in a period of self-forgetfulness. Well, the first thing to do is acknowledge that. If possible, this is a good time to do some kind of meditation. If you cannot bring the attention back to yourself, if you cannot free yourself from your mood, it's perhaps a good time to do some meditation, or perhaps some other mood altering activity. It depends on the mood. If it's a good mood, then that's when you need to be extra careful, because it means you've let go of awareness. You're happily coasting. Look at how you justify that to yourself. So we have to inquire into our moods afresh each time. There's no basic recipe for freeing ourselves from a mood. Sometimes you just got to let it pass. But ideally, we want to be able to practice self-enquiry no matter what the mood, no matter what physical and psychological pain we might be suffering. In sorrow and in calamity, in dire distress and in pain, remain free from sorrow within yourself, but behave as if in sorrow, in accordance with propriety and in accordance with local etiquette, even shedding tears and wailing, and seemingly experiencing pleasure and pain. Well, I gave it to you from the point of self-inquiry, but here there's a social context. And again, it's influenced by the yogic perspective that somehow the yogi is untouched. The yogi is untouched by physical and emotional pain. But here we're being told that we should give the appearance of pain so that we don't appear like emotional zombies. It's indicating that we actually are emotional zombies. If you practice self-inquiry, or if you're a great yogi, then you're an emotional zombie. But you've got to play along with the emotional game. This seems to be what it's saying, isn't it? The person of truth behaves falsely, which is of course nonsense. This is going along with the story that the yogi is some kind of emotional zombie. Well, that may be as far as the yogi is concerned, but not the spiritual practitioner. The spiritual practitioner does feel pain, does feel grief, feels loss, feels attachment to loved ones and so on. These are all natural things. The person of truth is the person of emotional honesty. But that honesty isn't the same honesty as a child who is completely insensitive to or completely ignorant of the social norms. The spiritual practitioner will not be honest in the sense that it's going to hurt or be insensitive to other people's expectations, although it can happen easily enough. A lot depends on the character of the spiritual practitioner. Anyway, we've got to be careful with this. Again, we're getting caught up in descriptions of the liberated one, and we shouldn't be doing that.